Hello, welcome back to Cooking Wild with Ray. Today we'll be doing maple mustard moose steaks, marinated for at least 8 to 9 hours, and then pan seared with fried onions and served with a side of mixed vegetables. Everything is fairly easy to get. If you don't have moose, you can do it with beef, any kind of red meat, bison, elk, caribou, take your pick. Hopefully this is easy enough to follow at home. Recreate, add your own spice touch to it if you want. Add a little extra kick with some peppers. Enjoy. There's all of our ingredients that we're going to be using today to marinate our steaks during the day. Garlic, yellow mustard, and real maple syrup. The maple syrup and mustard will be a 1-to-1 mixture, and to that we're going to put about 1.5 teaspoons of garlic. Mix it all up, put in our rib steak, and let it have a happy bath for the day. Right here I got a disposable plastic bag. Nothing is measured. All depends on how many steaks you're going to be doing and how much of a tang of the mustard you want. There again, I said a 1-to-1 mixture roughly of the mustard to maple syrup. We give it that little extra bite. Teaspoon and a half roughly. I'll mix all of this up and introduce my steak for the day. It's real easy, real quick, and something you can't go wrong with. This goes great when you take your steaks after and you pan sear them or bake them, and gives that sweet flavor with a little bit of a heat kick. And here I've got a couple of nice rib steaks. You're going to want to marry them in here and just make sure they're fully surrounded by everything. So I like a little bit bigger bag. Give it a little bit of air to begin with. Make sure they got a good coating. Once they're properly coated everywhere around, open it up, make sure you get all the air out as much as you can. If you got a vacuum sealer, it's even better. With the vacuum sealer, you can push that right into the fibers of the meat. So this I'll put in the fridge for 8 to 10 hours. When I get home from work, you prime for cooking in a pan. Serve it with rice, turnip, potatoes, whichever side you want. We'll see what kind of side I do when I get home. I'll surprise myself. All right, here in a large skillet, just gonna take a little bit of olive oil and get my skillet good and hot before I introduce the steaks that we put to marinade. Here, I'm going to get a couple of small onions, sliced up and diced, to introduce to my pan, get them caramelized, add some extra flavor and some texture. All right, here now that I've got my onions started, get them caramelized, get some extra flavor, I'm going to add just a little bit of butter. Yes, just a little bit. Give it some extra flavor. You don't want to burn your butter. You want to cook it down slow. With the extra olive oil that's in there, it helps Here we're just going to want our onions to get lightly caramelized, even translucent. You don't want to get them too crunchy. All right, here my onions are just starting to caramelize. They've lightened up. We're going to go ahead and introduce our ribeye steaks that have been marinating all morning long. And that's what you want to hear. You want to hear that sizzle to get that crust happening with that mustard and maple syrup. You don't want to cover them at this point. You just want to get that sear happening. All right, it's been about 45 seconds to a minute here. I'm just going to take and flip them over. They've already started to sear a little bit. You can see here. It's all right. So at this point, you already got the sear started on the other side. You're going to want to take the remainder of your marinade sauce, pour it right in, and here you're going to let this sit for a good 5 to 6 minutes per side. All right, here we're getting... Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, share it with family and friends. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Cooking Wild with Ray.